All right, everyone, we have manager Bud Black here. We'll go ahead and get started with Thomas Harding.
Hey, buddy, good morning.
Good morning, Thomas.
All right. First of all, Stevenson, I know that you were trying to stay off him, hoping he would heal. What eventually tipped you over to going ahead and putting him on the IL at this point?
Yeah, you were astutely aware of his usage over the last 4 or 5 days. And, we were hoping to turn the corner with Robert, and we just didn't quite get there. He felt a little bit more discomfort yesterday morning as he went through his early drills, and our discussions with Robert led us to put him on the injured list to really let this thing quiet down, and hopefully the 10 days it will feel better, and he'll be able to jump back up on the mound and be a part of our bullpen. But it's that sort of upper back tightness, just below the neck, sort of the bigger muscles in your back, just down from the neck on the right side.
How much of knowing that you really didn't have him, how much did that hurt the bullpen usage during the last road trip? And obviously, bullpen kind of struggled a bit in Milwaukee.
Well, obviously, you like to have a full bullpen of guys because you never know how a game's going to play out. But I think strategically, it might have had an impact on a couple innings as we went through the road trip. But overall, I think in general, we had the guys that we wanted out there at certain points.
Buddy, Trevor just announced that he will be in the Home Run Derby. Obviously, it's a great thing for the fans, a great thing to be excited about here in Denver. Do you at times have concerns about being in it, or do you really buy into that it could affect the swing or affect the guy's fatigue?
Yeah, well, I've known for a little bit he was a candidate, and then ultimately, he mentioned to me that he was going to do it. I think organizations, managers, coaches, and I think even players, maybe to a certain extent, worry some. My concerns aren't great. They're minimal. I think this is a great showcase for the players who are in it. I know that for the most part, the greater majority of players have always enjoyed it and are fine with it, and it hasn't, negatively impacted their baseball going forward. So that's sort of how I feel. I don't know whether any players been injured in the Home Run Derby. I don't think that's the case. I don't think it truly affects their swing. I think if you talk to any player, he'll agree with that. Obviously, when you're out there, you're trying to hit homers, but when you come the next day or a few days later to play a big league game, you take your swing. You do not take your home run swing that you would take in the Derby. So I'm excited for Trev, and I'm excited for the Rocky fans who will be in attendance, and I'm happy for the viewership who are Rockies fans who will be able to see Trevor and everybody compete in this Derby. I think it's a really, really fun event.
And last one for me, but when you look at what he has meant to this team this season, the fact that obviously there are trade rumors every single day, but he's kind of ignored that. He's helped bring along guys like Rogers, been a voice in your clubhouse. In a way, is this kind of a cool reward for the things that he's done under some circumstances that maybe another player would find difficult?
Yeah, what I think we've watched Trevor grow up before our eyes. The last 5 years since his rookie season of 16, he missed a lot of that due to the injury. But 17 on, I think we've seen growth in Trevor in so many areas, and I think the nationwide acclaim that he's gotten, with a couple All-Star games and just being talked about as one of the better players in the game. I think it's all deserved, and I think with us. He's kept, everything in proper perspective. His rise to prominence as a star player. I think it's been great to see how he's handled that. He's handled it very professionally, very humbly. very unselfishly. It's been great. And your point about his place on our team is continue to grow as far as leadership and a mentor for some young players. So it's been impressive to watch his last 5 years here with the Rockies.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
Kyle Newman.
Hey, Bud, back to the home run derby. Obviously, Ohtani's in it. Pete Alonso, who won it in 2019. What do you think Trevor's got to do to be competitive, possibly win the thing? And what have you seen from his batting practice rounds that gives you some optimism?
Well, I'm excited for Trev. I'm not sure of the entire list. You named a couple of good ones. Again, from what I've noticed over the years, and I've witnessed 3 in person, the 3 All-Star games that I've been to. It's all about momentum and confidence, and really how you're swinging, getting in a groove. I think that's what every player strives for who's competed in this. There's a feel to that and a rhythm. They all have power. They all have great swings. It's just a matter on that night and maybe in certain rounds that you have to really get it going and get in a rhythm. And obviously, one thing that's a little bit underrated is the guy throwing to you. How the pitches are, if they're in the right spot and in the right tempo and the right timing, to let the guy, get ready to swing again in a pretty quick fashion. So Mike Redmond's going to be thrown to Trev. I think that's a good combination. They're very comfortable with each other. So we'll see. I like Trevor's chances as much as anybody because he's got power. I think this ballpark will help him. This is his own park, so the sight lines and the background is something that he's used to. There's no doubt there's a little bit of pressure. I mean, every guy has told me that. But again, it's about, for me, getting on a roll, getting in concert with your BP pitcher, and the timing and the rhythm is so important. But Trevor he can match anybody, and he can win this thing for sure.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
Kevin Henry.
With Tyler Anderson going today for the Pirates, I'm wondering what you've seen from him evolution-wise since he left the Rockies. Is he a different pitcher today than he was?
I don't really think he's a different pitcher, Kevin. I mean, you'll see a few things that are different. He'll drop down a little bit more than what he did here. Not a lot, but you'll see a little different arm angle at times, even against a right-handed hitter. I think his basic package of pitches is very similar to what we saw here. It's the four-seam fastball, both up and down, in and out. It's a little slider cutter into the righty, away from the lefty, that he'll vary the break on it. His best weapon is his changeup off that fastball. You're going to see a guy that competes hard. I always love that about Tyler, his competitiveness. But you're going to see a very similar type pitcher than what you saw here for the years that he was around.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Mark Stout.
Hey, Bud, just wanted to check in again on Austin Gomber, if he threw yesterday, and the plan that you had mentioned to me tomorrow is still to go with him.
No, he didn't throw yesterday. Going to play some catch today. Don't know if he's going to throw again tomorrow. I haven't caught up with him today. I'm in here with you guys. I think the pitchers are out there now playing catch. I'll follow up with our pitching coaches, and I'll follow up with Austin, obviously, to see how he's feeling. But I do think a bullpen is imminent. I'm not sure which day, but he's feeling better. We decided not to do it yesterday, just out of more caution to make sure that he feels good about going to the pen, because once you go to the pen, you always increase the intensity. So we all decided, Austin included, that we just wait a couple more days.
Okay, and then one other thing, does it feel like opening day to you? And if it does, what's your favorite part about, say, opening day?
Well, it feels different because we're going about it different, right? With an earlier beat time, and We're aware of the, player introductions and the flyovers and all that. Honestly, I think that nothing beats like a traditional opening day, the first game of the season. But I think this is a nice event today, based on, the positivity of where the pandemic is. And here in Colorado and in Denver, we're able to open up to full capacity. I think organizationally, we're excited to have that happen. I know that Dick is excited to welcome, full capacity and the beauty of our ballpark to potentially 50,000 fans as we move forward the rest of the season. And we're gonna try to do it, obviously as close as we can to a traditional opening day. So that's a good thing. It'll be a flyover, as you know, and some other fanfare. So I think overall there'll be a little bit more energy than what you would expect on a Monday afternoon day game during late June.
Thanks, Bud.
Any final questions for Buddy? Thomas, go ahead.
Hey, buddy, I just want to redirect here on one more thing. Yesterday was kind of a tough day for this team. It seems like you guys have a lot of those on the road. But do you ever concern yourself with the team maybe being down a bit? I mean, it seems like they have a way of bouncing back. Do you still see that from this club?
Yeah, I still see it, Thomas. Yeah, as far as the resiliency, yes, I see this out of this group. We want to win. I mean, we want to win every game we play. Players and the staff, everybody down in that clubhouse, from the players to the staff to the trainers, strength guys. Our media component is with us. When you don't win that ball game, you become there's a disappointment. But quickly, in our sport, and I'm repeating myself, obviously, that a new game tomorrow brings a new opportunity, and the guys bounce back quickly, right? The guys bounce back quickly. And that's sort of the nature of, I think, a professional baseball player, just because of the number of games that we play, and they have played in their baseball lives, right? You play a lot of baseball games, and there's a number of times when you got to bounce back from losses. And our group, this particular group of players, this 26-man group, plus this coaching staff and all the other people with our group on a daily basis, bring the energy the next day. And that's, it's the makeup of our team that makes that happen. And I'm proud of the guys for that. Now they come back and play hard and play with, a great deal of passion each and every day, regardless of what happened the night before, either a great win or a tough loss.
Yeah, just kind of to really explain, I guess, to people that maybe aren't as familiar with baseball, when you have a game like yesterday, it really looks like the team is down. But is it just simply the fact that sometimes when you get pitched well or you're just not hitting, you can really look like you're not in?
Yeah, when a team doesn't score, that doesn't look right? When a team doesn't score. You can also look at it this way, Thomas. If that game was 1-0, if that was a 1-0 game, people would comment, what a great game that was, how well pitched that was, and they really don't talk about the offense, right? Or if the team looked down, they'll just say, "Hey, man, what a great game." The team lost 1-0. But if the game is a little bit more lopsided, as that game became, as it moved on, and it always has that perception, whether it's the 27 Yankees losing a game, by being shut out, the 75 Reds, all the great teams that have come across. If they get shut out and it's a wide gap of runs, it's always the perception. When you don't score, it always looks that way. Now, if you get beat 14-10. Nobody says anything about the team looked down. Still a loss. But when you don't score, that's always the look. And that doesn't matter what team you're on.